SonyaBeats.com. Purchase beats with no tax.
Broadcasting from the great city of Houston, Texas, it's the Jay Williams Podcast. I'm your host with the most, Jay Williams. What up, Northside? It's your boy, and yes, I'm back at it again. You're now tuned in to the Jay Williams Podcast, where the underdog has a voice. I'm your host with the most, Jay Williams. I understand you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're rocking with us, and I greatly appreciate it. There's a lot of interesting things happening in the world today. We got Donald Trump acting a damn fool along the Texas border. We're also going to discuss the brand new book by Houston very own. He's a legend, a Southern legend, James Prince, The Art and the Science of Respect. Also got a very special tribute to a special lady in my family, my mother. It's her 72nd birthday, So you're now tuned in to the Jay Williams Podcast. Let's get tuned in and locked in, and let's get at it.
My administration is also acting swiftly to address the illegal immigration crisis on the southern border. Loopholes in our immigration laws, all supported by extremist open border Democrats. And that's what they are. They're extremist open border Democrats. If you look at Nancy Pelosi and you look at Chuck Schumer, you'll see tapes where they wanted to have borders. They needed borders for security. Just a short while ago, a number of years ago, I see Chuck Schumer, we must have borders. Hillary Clinton, we must have borders. If people penetrate our borders, we must get them out of our country. Now all of a sudden they're big open border people. It's a whole big con job. In the meantime, people are suffering because of the Democrats. So we've created, and they've let it happen, a massive child smuggling industry. It's exactly what it's become. Traffickers. You think about this. Human traffickers are making a fortune. It's a disgrace. These loopholes force the release of alien families and minors into the country when they illegally cross the border. Since 2014 alone, nearly 200,000 unaccompanied alien minors have been released into the United States as a result of Democrat-backed loopholes, including catch and release, which is one of the worst. You catch them and then you release them. Might as well save your time. Don't bother catching them. And this is what we're stuck with. They're the worst immigration laws in the history of the world. The whole world is laughing at the United States, and they have been for years. These alien minors were separated and sent all the way up here alone. But they really came up with coyotes. You know what a coyote is? Not good. These are not good people. They were set up here with human traffickers because the Democrat-supported policies have allowed this to happen. Democrats also refuse to fund the personnel, the bed space, the resources that we need to house the minors. Now, they want us to take care of the minors, and that's fine. But they don't want to give us the money to take care of them. Because the worse everything looks, they think the better they're going to do with respect to the blue wave, which is turning out, frankly, to be a red wave if you look at the polls. I think we're going to have a red wave, not a blue wave. So they want us to take care of bed space and resources and personnel and take everybody and, let's run the most luxurious hotel in the world for everybody. But they don't want to give us the money. So you can ask them about that. We have to house these minors, and we have to house them safely. And frankly, we have to house them, and we should be taking good care of them, and then we should return them back home. That's what we have to do. But every time we ask for resources, the Democrats say no. They say no to everything. They're obstructionists because they think that's good politically. I think it's bad politically. For them, I think it's bad politically. We'll see. In addition, Democrat and court-ordered loopholes prevent family detention and lead to family separation, no matter how you cut it. I signed a very good executive order yesterday, but that's only limited. No matter how you cut it, it leads to separation ultimately. I'm directing HHS, DHS, and DOJ to work together to keep illegal immigrant families together during the immigration process and to reunite these previously separated groups. But the only real solution is for Congress to close the catch and release loopholes that have fueled the child smuggling industry. The Democrats are causing tremendous damage and destruction and lives by not doing something about this. And they know that. They know that better than anybody up there with a pen. If we don't close these loopholes, there is no amount of money or personnel in the world to address the crisis. Very serious crisis. It's been going on so long. This is a Trump administration. You look back at 2014 during the Obama administration, they have pictures that were so bad. They had a judge that said it was inhumane the way they were treating children. Take a look at some of the court rulings against the Obama administration. They talked about inhumane.
All right, that's enough of that. That, ladies and gentlemen, is red meat for his base. He got caught up in a situation where he had to get himself out of because, it wasn't looking too good for the president and the Republican Party in Washington. So even though he didn't want to back out of it, he had to. He was in the box. So that what you heard was strictly red meat for his base. Since Donald Trump been in office, you haven't heard anything in terms of uniting the country and a positive message that increases his base. Everything that Donald Trump says is for that 30 to 35% of the population that support this kind of garbage. It's racist, total racist. Since Donald Trump been in office, he only mentioned democracy fewer than 100 times. He only mentioned equality only 12 times. He only mentioned human rights just 10 times. So there you have is a president that's so set on governing the country based on his 30 to 35% of the population that agree with this racial tone and policies that he put in place. Donald Trump continued to alienate our allies across the world, and he appears to be obsessed with brutal dictators. So, ladies and gentlemen, all of y'all that didn't vote or didn't find a need that was necessary to vote, is what you have. A racist loudmouth in the White House that would continue to compose policies that benefit that 30 to 35% of the population that think like he think and feel like he feel. So buckle your seatbelts. It's going to be an interesting ride for the next 2.5 years. On to bigger and better things. There's a newly released book by someone that we very seldom hear about or hear from. He's been behind the scene for over 20 years, and he's a native Houstonian, straight out of Fifth Ward. His name is J. Prince, aka James Prince, aka J. Prince. I think he's one of the pioneers of hip hop to never get the credit or recognition that he's so deserved. And I'm glad that he finally released this book, and it's an interesting read, and I really enjoyed it. For decades, James Prince has presided over the Rap-A-Lot Records, one of the first successful independent rap label. In his memoir, he explained how he earned his reputation as one of the most respected men in hip-hop by staying true to 3 principles: heart, loyalty, and commitment. His unwavering faith in God. He continued to defeat all adversaries, even DA agents. It's a very interesting book, and I really enjoyed reading it. This is one of the most interesting reads that I've came across in a long time, and I'm glad that Jay Prince finally put it out there and really let us into his world. You know, a lot of people who's hip hop heads know who J. Prince is. For those of y'all who don't know who J. Prince is, J. Prince is like the Suge Knight of the South. He's a very feared man, and he's not as big as Suge Knight. He's a small guy, but he carries a lot of weight. And I think he did a lot of things in terms of breaking down barriers and making it possible for individuals like Master P, Tony Draper, and all those that came after him to be successful in his game. So salute to the OG. Please go out and get the book and support the homie. The Art and the Science of Respect, J. Prince. Now, as I stated in the beginning of the show, it's a birthday of someone that is a matriarch of my family, and someone who I feel is the reason why I'm the man I am today. She poured a lot of her morals, her values, her approach on how you should treat others and how you should give back to the community and give back to others. She's a very special individual, and miss her dearly. My mom is the reason why I'm on this earth. Right from my birth, my mom has been by my side, backing me up with her love, care, and support. I really feel sad today that my siblings and I are unable to celebrate my mom's 72nd birthday week. So my mom has transitioned. She's in heaven now. So we're unable to present her with special gifts or even planning a surprise birthday dinner. However, we can't undo destiny. So Ma, we all scream happy birthday to you as you smile down at us and you hear our voice in our hearts. We miss you dearly, Mom. It's not a day to go by that we won't think of you. Thank you for all you've given us and all the good memories that you've given us. We love you. Happy birthday. We love you. From your baby boy, your son, Jay Williams. Love you, Ma. Happy birthday, Ma. Yeah. It's been over nearly 20 years since my mom passed. Today is her birthday. We celebrate. Also got to send a special birthday shout out to my youngest son. He turned 2 yesterday. Caden, Daddy love you. Can't wait till you get back home. Thank you for tuning in to the Jay Williams Podcast. Stay tuned for more shows. Remember, if you do it well. You may not be where you should be, or you may not be where others think you should be. But thank God you're not what you used to be. What up, Northside? It's your boy, and I was back at it again. Jay Williams Podcast. We out. Happy birthday, Ma. Broadcasting from the great city of Houston, Texas, it's the Jay Williams Podcast.